Hello everyone. The previous video I posted talking about problems, like to detect problems that make children lack in mathematics. What are the possible problems that will make them lack in mathematics? So this video contains the solution. So if your child is not doing well in mathematics, you watch the one that says, so let's trace the problem. In computer, if you can trace, even in medicine, if you can trace the problem, you can articulate the solution, right? So these are the solution, filling the gap. If you know your child have missed school, or your child was sick, or you know that between primary one and primary two the child really did not, maybe the school the child was going, or you really did not have time, now the child is in like primary three, and you know that 2 years ago, for those 2 years you were very busy, no time, no attention, you know the child have lacked in those 2 years. Now child is in primary three, the gap moment. So you can fill up for the gap moment. That's like the solution for gap moment. How do you fill up for gap moment? Holiday lesson, worksheets. Then you can get a lesson teacher. Then you are the parents, you can also fill up. You can get those textbook, or what you do is that you go to the child's books. If you give the child adequate time to practice, and if you notice that maybe the child is in primary four, the child can still not do addition. Those addition that you need to take one this way, or to borrow one from this one, the child can still not do simple multiplication. You have to go back. So maybe if you say, maybe like in primary four, the child somebody wants to share 20 mangoes among four persons, and the child does not even know the simple division in primary one. Maybe 8 divided by 2. Now you are giving a complex. I know in primary four there will be nothing like 20 divided by 4. Maybe primary four they might say something like 144 divided by 12. And if the child does not understand those 6 divided by 3, 8 divided by 2, how can you introduce a complex topic like that? So you have to go back to the basic of that divisions, right? So that's filling up the gap. You can get a lesson teacher and tell the teacher that, especially holiday period, you can tell the teacher that is mathematics, just focus on mathematics for this holiday. I want to see improvement. Or you as a parent, you can say, oh, I want to focus on mathematics. So if you have a question, your child is this age, especially those in primary school, you can ask a question. I'll be able to answer you or give you like a clue or what to do. Then another thing is that you can get worksheets. For example, if the child is in primary one and you know the child is lacking, so you as the parent or the school or the lesson teacher, if you can see maybe they are teaching them 1+1, you can download worksheet or on your own. You will now write 1+1 again in a different book. Whatever you see them teaching, maybe if they're teaching multiplication in the child's school, you just use your own paper, your own notes, and also give the child, just to make the child do it more and more and to understand it. And if you are teaching the child this and you see the child does not understand the basics, you have to go back. Sorry, you have to go back. That's mathematics. Age interval, admission process, and promotion. I thought there's nothing to. If you notice, I know that some people don't like their child to repeat, and some persons say, "Oh, I've seen twins that they are not in the same class, provided they are doing well." Because their brain development is not the same, the way they understand is not the same. So your child is in this class and it's possible, oh, let this child be this. Please accept it. If your child is in this class and you say, let the child repeat, if you aware the facts, you can do it. Then this goes to the school head when it comes to admission. Even parents are like, let this child be in this class. You say no, let this child be in this other class. So you can see some of the lapses. I mean, teacher, this is what I see every day. Okay. Balance, see the preference in child, like school club. Okay. You know, I talk about children just have preference. You see English, give them anything they will spell, anything they will read, anything grammar, composition they will do. But once you see mathematics, so if you know that your child is like that, what you do, you balance it. You start doing more of mathematics. It's like if you have a lesson teacher, you can tell the teacher 60-40, mathematics 60, English 40. You understand? Because you know that like I met a parent recently, the child is in this problem. The child has this thing. She was like, oh, I want my child to speak well. I want my child to speak phonics, this and that. I said, wow. So I assessed the child. And in the language, the child scored maybe like 90, while in mathematics, the child scored like 20/100. So I asked the parent, yeah, I know that speaking well is what every parent wants, so that when the child speaks in public, and so you just feel somehow happy, you feel fulfilled. But now you see the mathematics is lacking, and the language is good, it's like 90 or 80. So what will you work on? Work on the weakness of the child. That doesn't mean you throw away the other one, but if you have limited time, you work on the weakness of that child. Since that child loves English, the child will easily get it. You work on the weakness. Now, how do you balance the preference? That's for children that don't like mathematics at all. Some schools have school club, math club, reading club, different, maybe music club. You tell that child to be in the mathematics club. So by so doing, the child will do more of mathematics. Then lesson, if you have a lesson teacher or you are taking your child to a lesson, you can just say only mathematics, because that is the weak point of the child, because you have limited time. Then another thing you have to do, if your child is like does not like mathematics, you do what I call 1 week ahead. So you get the, or some schools do not really their scheme, you can get it when the child, or when you buy books, the child's textbook. For example, if next week is multiplication, you just snap it, you start teaching multiplication in the house this week. So before next week, when the teacher will introduce it in the school, the child will pick into it, go, ah, my mommy have taught me this thing, oh, my lesson teacher, auntie, I know it. That's also bring their confidence. So 1 week ahead, you teach them 1 week ahead of school. So now you know, now you have done it in the house, you've done a lot of classwork, homework, classwork, then they'll do it again, a lot of classwork, homework in school, to make the child conversant with the topic. Now, relatable math textbook. I've talked about it. Some math textbooks should not be. So please go with what your state or your country, whatever, have approved that this should be this. So this goes to the head of school. Sometimes maybe your friend's sister is your author or something. Just buy book that is not even that, I don't know. So just get the relatable math textbook. Then I talk about the right teacher. The way we have children that like math and like English, they will grow to be adults. And now, especially in the parts of the world whereby you can just be a teacher. So this goes to the school and pick the right teacher. And if you're a parent, you want to get a lesson teacher, you just know that if you know that your child is lacking in mathematics, pick a teacher that is very good in mathematics and tell the teacher that my problem with this child is mathematics. Let's hammer the problem. Because sometimes some parents, say, I've got a teacher even for this mathematics. Okay, check the book. My friend was teaching somebody, then she left. Then they have to call her back. So when she came back, she said she checked the book. That child problem was language, was reading. The child is very good in mathematics. So the teacher that brought everyday mathematics, this child is good in mathematics. The weak point of this child is English. Why don't you do more of English? This is holiday period that the child has time to fill in the gap. You adjust so you don't, because you know that now the child does not like English. So it might be difficult for you to really make the child to read. They don't want to read to stimulate their brain. They don't want to write comprehension. They don't want to write composition. They don't want to do grammar. They don't want to do phonics. They don't want to spell because they do not like English. So the mathematics is easy to make the child happy. So that teacher will just do mathematics, which is not supposed to be. So as a parent or a school, and you get the key with your teacher, okay? And if you are a teacher watching this, fear God, have the fear of God in your heart and do the needful. Now, I think I've talked about, reduce your cumulative. Cumulative means when the class is in primary 1 using primary 2 books or primary 2 using primary 3 books, right? So if you know that your child, or this goes to the head of the school, if you know that the children, maybe a good range, a good 70 to 60 to 80% are not doing well in mathematics, you can reduce the book. You can do your primary 1, primary 2 in other subject. When it comes to mathematics, you can say primary 2 use primary 2 books, primary 3 use primary 3 books, just like that, okay? If they are not doing what you can do it, then incorporate drills. I think I've talked about it. When you do those 2 times 1, 2, 60 seconds, make more 1 minute, something like that, it helps in mathematics. Because there is no way you want to do, when you do division, using your multiplication table, you can use it to solve some division. I'm going to give you an example. Now, for example, if they say 6 divide by 7. So if you can read your 7 times, whatever will give you 42, that's the answer. So if you know your 7 times, whatever will give you 42, that's the answer. And the question is 42 divided by 6. So if you can read your 6 times very well, whatever give you 42, that's the answer. Another thing is that if the child can memorize 2 to 5 times, can recite the 2 to 5 times table, there's a multiplication trick for 6 to 10 in this channel. You can maybe I'll put it in the description box. So that trick, it makes it easy. They will just do it like this. It makes them easy because some of them may not be able to memorize up to 12. So but they have to memorize 5. Even if they cannot memorize 5, there's also a way we do it here on this channel. You can check just see anything multiplication, you can check for it, and that's a key way. But me, I'll advise even the children that are under me, you have to be able to recite 2 to 5. Then from 6, we start doing the easy way using our fingers, right? So more time should be given to school timetable. I think I've talked about it. No, there is no way you can say you want your school or your child to be doing well. Mathematics, you have to practice. If you do 1 plus 1 today, you have to give time to do 2 plus 3, 4 plus 8, 10 plus 11, 22 plus 34. They are different from 1 plus 1. 22 plus 34 is different from 1 plus 1. So you have to give adequate time for practice. Do it again. If you are the head of a school, you have to schedule your timetable very well. Maths and English are key. those sciences, they are key. I know that nowadays there's a competition. This school is doing 100 subjects. You want your school to do 100 subjects before 2 p.m. These are children. We're talking about humans. I prefer although I sound to be corrected, I prefer to, if it is 6 subjects you do a day and they understand that 6 subjects, it's better than doing 15 subjects that they don't even understand. It's better. So if you're at school, know the way you. I know that people will come. Maybe now your the timetable is like this, like come and change. You tell them that, oh, the reason why this is because of mathematics on this, on this, on this. So give your examples, right? Teachers should inculcate differentiation. What differentiation means is that you know this child is not good in mathematics, you don't just neglect the child. So you have to know how to teach different children. Maybe you have a child of like a class of like 8 persons or 10 persons. You don't teach them the same way. There are some persons when it comes to mathematics, you know this child does not like mathematics. You know this child is not good in mathematics. When you introduce the topic, you call the child to your table or you call the child to the board. If you are doing like a practical, maybe you cut oranges into half. This like for the nursery. Those are the children you will call. While there are some wherever they will just get it. So you know the ones that are not getting. Maybe you want to do multiplication, you want to count, you want to do, those are the children you will call. Differentiation. Okay, that doesn't mean you neglect all those other ones, right? More practice time should be given, worksheet and all. Mathematics need practice. I see a lot of people, they say they don't know mathematics. I can never know mathematics. Mathematics is this, mathematics is bad. No, maybe you did not practice very well. If they should teach you 1 plus 1 today, then you go 3 weeks later, you have, because these children, when they play, they tend to forget. So if you are the school head or a lesson teacher or whatever, or a parent, you want to homeschool your child, then if you are teaching 1 plus 1, the next day, the other day, again. Now, a child that you want to write 1 to 100, there's no way you tell the child 1 to 10 today. Then you go after 3 months, the child must have forgotten. Constant practice, a lot of classwork. You download worksheets. You can even go to internet as a parent. Now, this is for parents. If your child is maybe primary 4 and you see a topic like telling the time, just go to Pinterest. There are so many worksheets that you use to teach the child, so many classwork. By the time the child have done about 10 or 8 worksheets, the child is conversant with the topic. Okay, thank you everyone for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe, leave a comment, and ask a question. If you have a question, maybe your child, like last week, a lesson teacher, someone was taking someone for lesson and she was like, oh, my children are good with reading but they are not good with spelling. So I gave her something about I think few days later she told me that it is working. So you can, nobody is perfect. I think it takes a village to raise a child. You can ask a question that, oh, I'm taking this child, my child is this, what do you recommend, or this or this. It's okay. Please like, subscribe, and leave a comment below. Was this helpful? Thank you. Bye.